There are two separate videos on my channel where I did an exclusive unboxing of these two cameras. The main difference is that the EOS R was shipped with the EF to RF lens adapter and the old LP6N battery with less capacity than the new LP6NH battery, which is being shipped with the new Canon EOS R5. You will get the EF to RF lens adapter after you have registered your Canon EOS R5 to Canon's professional service for free. Let's have a look at both bodies. My old EOS R has a smaller grip than the EOS R5. Both cameras feature an illuminated head display with a record button next to it, but none of them feature illuminated buttons. At least I would expect this on the Canon EOS R5. Keep in mind that you won't be able to use any of these two cameras with EF or EFS lenses, except with one of Canon's mount adapters. You need to look out for RF lenses. At the bottom side is a tripod mount with the battery compartment next to it. You may switch the batteries between these two cameras. What I mean with that is that it doesn't matter if you use the LP6, LP6N or the LP6NH in any of these two. The EOS R5 has two card slots, one for SDs and the other one for CFast Express, while the EOS R has only one SD slot. Think ahead, you won't be able to record 4K 120 or 8K without a CFast Express card. I will put a link with my favorite one in the video description below. So as for the appropriate CFast Express card reader, there's a video on my channel with the card reader I use at the moment for my CFast Express cards. The EOS R5 weighs 740 grams while the EOS R weighs 700 grams. Both including memory card and battery. If you want to keep the cameras attached to constant current, you have to look out for a PowerBank with power delivery. During my unboxing video I made a mistake to attach it to a normal USB plug instead of using a USB-C to USB-C cable attached to a PD plug. The PowerBank I used and which worked in my case is listed in the video description below. I have not seen any indication inside the yellow Canon menu that a constant current is attached to the camera. This feature is disabled using the old LP6 batteries, so make sure to use at least the LP6N battery. The touch bar on the Canon EOS R was replaced with a thumb controller on the new EOS R5 and R6. Canon also replaced the push controller with a new spinning wheel on the Canon EOS R5 and R6, which allows you to jump much faster between your photos and videos. The Canon EOS R and the Canon EOS R5 are equipped with a Wi-Fi module, which allows you to transfer photos now also in RAW, so as video clips onto your smart device, such as tablets and phones, using the Canon Camera Connect app, which is for free. A tutorial on how to do this is already on my channel. One thing which is brilliant about Canon cameras is their well-structured menu. All settings are adjustable with your fingers using the 3.2-inch LCD screen. Let's stay with the monitor for a minute. They both have a resolution of 2.1 million pixels. Now to the difference. The display of the Canon EOS R feels much more valuable than the one of the Canon EOS R5. The display of the Canon EOS R5 feels identical in construction to that of the Canon EOS 90D. Not that the 90D is a bad camera, but with a purchase price of over 4K, the demands are a little bit different, but it's probably a little lighter through the lighter screen. Because of the slightly longer eyepiece, I could neither use the Canon EOS R5 nor the EOS R with my DJI Ronin SC. Whereas with the RF 35mm, the whole thing was no problem. But as soon as I used the lens adapter and want to use the EF 24mm 1.4, for example, I was very limited in movement. The main difference between the electronic viewfinders is the resolution. The viewfinder of the EOS R5 resolves with almost 5.7 million pixels and the viewfinder of the EOS R with almost 3.7 million pixels. Both cameras are suitable for sport recordings. With the EOS R5 you can shoot 12 frames per second with the mechanical shutter and 20 frames per second with the electronic shutter. The EOS R achieves 8 frames per second. The maximum number of photos depends on the reading and writing speed of your memory card, temperature, exposure time, AF tracking, and so on. What fascinated me the most was the extreme precise autofocus of the EOS R5. Here I could land clearly more hits than with the EOS R. Canon stated that you can shoot nearly 350 JPEGs and nearly 180 RAWs in one go with the EOS R5. My long-term experience with the EOS R is that you can shoot about 15 to 20 RAWs in a row until the buffer has to recover. If you take a series of shots with the EOS R5 and film in 4K, the overheating symbol will appear after a short time. I haven't seen this once in over 1.5 years using the EOS R. If you want to shoot 4K in slow motion after a series, you will have to wait because the body has to cool down. We hope for a passive cooler in form of an adapter or a firmware update Canon. Now to the autofocus. Oh my god. The EOS R5 is a pretty badass. Whether you're jumping, running or spinning, if the camera can't find your eyes, it can find your head, even from behind. After 2 firmware updates, the EOS R has also very good eye tracking, whereby the tracking is much more accurate with the EOS R5 than with the EOS R. In the camera menu of the EOS R5, you can choose between a human and an animal eye detection. I can only recommend to test the whole thing in live. You will be thrilled. Not to make it too long, the point clearly goes to the EOS R5. I can highly recommend to use RF lenses from Canon. Sure, you can also use all EF and EFS lenses with the adapter, but if you compare the EF with the RF lenses, you will notice the difference. The additional ring on the RF lenses allows you to adjust the aperture, ISO or shutter speed with one twist. And you also have a digital distance indicator on your camera display. By the way, the EOS R5 has expanded the range of choices. Now you can also change the focus field, for example, with the ring on your lens. This currently only works with RF versions. You will get rich details and sharp photos with both cameras, while you have 30 megapixels using the EOS R and 45 megapixels using the EOS R5. The dynamic range is awesome using both of them. The best way to make up your own mind is to use the sample files from the video description below. So let's stick to the sharpness, which comes out really great, especially with RF lenses. The EOS R's 30 megapixels were perfect for me. Now I'm happy to have 45 megapixels, which should give me more ISO grain for the same sensor size. More on that in a moment. Now you might think that the 45 megapixel of the EOS R5 would give worse results in low light than with the 30 megapixels using the EOS R. But I think the performance is really good for 45 megapixels. The faster the aperture, The better the image stabilizer, the more likely you have a tripod with you, the less ISO you need. That's where the EOS R5 built-in image stabilizer comes in handy. All photos shown here are available for download, so you can see the low light performance for yourself at home. Just scroll down to the video description below and have a look into the Google Drive folder. Canon uses now a 5-axis image stabilizer on their new Canon EOS R5. You can get up to 8 apertures with it. When shooting video, it provides smoother handheld shots and in the dark, slower shutter speeds when shooting handheld. Let's test it outside. I suppose that many people have bought this camera also because of video. The Canon EOS R does a really good job. 4K with up to 30 frames per second, Full HD with up to 60 frames per second, and slow motion, unfortunately, without autofocus in 720p. Where the majority of smartphones could already take better slow motion shots, Canon thought, why should we give our customers such a feature? The video quality is still awesome. Color grading works great thanks to C-Log with both cameras. Unfortunately, the Canon EOS R has the annoying crop factor in 4K with a magnification of not less than 1.78. Wow! With the Canon EOS R5, this is finally eliminated. Now you can shoot in 8K and only have a minimal crop factor with 30 frames per second, which is omitted with 25 frames per second. 10 seconds in 8K eat not less than 600 megabytes, but the sharpness is brilliant. You can also record in 8K and get a 4K output internally. 10 seconds in 4K 120 will eat up to 1 gigabyte of your memory. I will definitely put 8K as well as 4K clips into the video description below, so you can play with them at home. Well, if your computer can handle it. Slow motion even works with autofocus, face and eye tracking. I did not expect that actually. That would be fun forever if there wasn't that annoying overheating symbol that keeps popping up on my camera display. Granted, I don't need 8K unless Apple would sponsor me a new computer. 4K without crop is very welcome and the slow motion shots are insane. If you look closely, you will see 2 new icons on the EOS R5 monitor. You can now start and stop to record a video with one tap on the camera display, and on the other hand, you can place the autofocus point in the center of your sensor with one click. Very good, Canon. These 2 features are only available on the EOS R5. If you want to record in 8K, for example, you have the possibility to pull 35 megapixel JPEGs from a clip. Canon also puts in Zebra and peaking to the EOS R5. The camera will switch off at 8K after 15 to 20 minutes because it gets too hot. 4K 120 is only possible for about 10 minutes until the camera gets too hot. You can record Full HD and 4K 25 and 30 until the doctor comes. 4K 60 works externally, by the way, also quite long. It doesn't matter what you do. Open the battery compartment, take off the lens, blow into your sensor, take out the card. The camera takes way too much time to cool down. So here is the internal microphone of the Canon EOS R. I haven't done any adjustments on the audio level, it's all in automatic mode. So here is the internal microphone of the Canon EOS R5. I haven't done any adjustment, so the audio levels are in automatic mode. Now to the exciting question. Which camera do you need? If money plays a minor role in your life, say you have too much of it, then get the EOS R5. Why not have more when you can afford it? If you simply want to take great photos and record videos, the EOS R is perfectly adequate, unless you prefer slow motion in 4K or 4K video without a crop factor. If you need more than 30 megapixels, you'll probably have to use the EOS R5. I don't need it. I would have been fine with 30 megapixels, then it would have been hard to record 8K, but since I don't need 8K video, it wouldn't have been a problem for me. I also welcome the dual memory slot on the Canon EOS R5. Yes, the memory cards are very reliable nowadays, but the CFast Express alone writes so fast that I rarely manage to make the buffer sweat. But what are your pros and contras for one or the other camera? I, as well as many other users, are very happy about your feedback. Let's get back to the video topic for a moment. I will gladly include HDR recordings in the video description so that you can see the full dynamic at home if your monitor can handle it. Both cameras offer internal time-lapse movie recording. The interval as well as the number of shots can be defined. Furthermore, the EOS R can record in Full HD as well as in 4K without crop, at least for time-lapse videos. The EOS R5 offers 8K, 4K and Full HD. Believe me, there's so much more to say about these two cameras. Every day I see something new in the big menu of the EOS R5. I have decided to continue using both cameras. The photo and video quality speaks for itself. Both cameras have an excellent dynamic range and are very easy to operate via touch. In addition, the Canon menu is by far not as overloaded as the one from Sony. I also leave the final feedback up to you. As I said, make your personal impression with the sample files from the video description. I speak for myself now. I bought the EOS R5 because of 4K 120, the dual card slot as a backup, and I can finally film in 4K without crop. The autofocus has become extremely fast and the tracking is perfect for wildlife and sport photography, to name a few pros. With the heat problem, one can only hope for a quick solution, because this can quickly limit your workflow, at least if you're a filmmaker. Now it's your turn. What are your pros and your contras for one camera or the other? Thanks to GM Photo and Objektivvermietung.de for your support. Make sure to follow me on Telegram. Here you will get all the information about the upcoming reviews and on top some sample files way ahead of everyone else. There will be more videos about the EOS R5 where I go into detail again. So be curious about what is coming next. All the best from the heart of Germany. See you very soon and tschüss.